In 1989, I learned the hard way an ugly truth about success. It destroys unless you learn this one secret. Is your life like mine was, driven by the external symbols of success like money, possession, position, yet all those successes leave you unhappy, dissatisfied, and feeling empty inside? What if instead your life could be fueled by passion, inspiration, and fulfillment, and your own internal compass of success? Making that leap is the promise of this video. Hi, my name is Denise Corcoran, and welcome to my channel, Life Unleashed, the most sought out place where viewers come to ignite possibilities and transform their destinies. In this video, I am going to highlight the difference between motivation and inspiration, and why knowing that difference can be life-changing. Second, I will share the 6 biggest blocks to tapping into your inspiration. And third, I will reveal 7 rarely addressed secrets for living an inspired life. Why is living an inspired life important? According to Gallup, 900 million people in 142 countries are unfulfilled in what they do. Chasing success often becomes an addiction. Achieving each new goal can give a temporary high for a day or two, yet leaves you never feeling successful enough. Instead of enjoying your accomplishment, you move on to your next goal. Psychologists call this living the hedonistic treadmill. I know, I've been there, and I paid a high cost for being on that treadmill. In 1989, I was at the top of my financial success as an ambitious, pioneering female business owner, only to find my life came crashing down in an instant. My workaholism and addiction to success had driven me to a point of becoming seriously ill, unable to work for 5+ years, lost all my assets, had to sell my home, and went into serious 6-figure debt. The biggest loss of all, though, was the loss of my sense of self and my soul. I call my 40s decade my lost decade, the 10 darkest, most despairing, painful years of my life. A once high-energy, highly motivated go-getter, I was now barely surviving in a depleted vegetable state. Literally, no life left in me, and no reason nor desire to live anymore. But there is a happy ending to my story, and all the lessons I learned to living an inspired life. In 1995, a trailblazing woman entrepreneur activist came into my life. Little did I realize my life and my business would never be the same. That woman was Anita Roderick, founder and CEO of The Body Shop. I was first introduced to Roderick through her book, Body and Soul, Profits with Principles. Eventually, I got a chance to meet, thank, and hug Anita in person at an LA Women's Conference, and she wrote the foreword to my book. This trailblazing woman who eventually built a natural personal product empire taught me to ground my life and my business from a place of passion, purpose, and principles. The Body Shop was really the first business ever to utilize a conscious capitalism strategy. That is, doing well by doing good. She proved a business committed to a better world could also make a profit. Her concepts were groundbreaking in the 1970s, often ridiculed by corporations. 40 years later, mainstream businesses globally have been following Roderick's footsteps. This small giant who had the chutzpah and courage to live her truth, shatter societal norms, and ignite the human spirit, became the very catalyst that helped me to get my mojo back. She ignited within me new life, a way of living I had never known before. Through her example, she showed me the secret ingredients to what I now know as living an inspired life. So what's the difference between motivation versus inspiration? Which one's better? For years, I thought inspiration and motivation meant the same thing. I now know from experience, motivation involves pushing oneself towards something through some external driver, like the goal of owning a home. Whereas inspiration involves pulling oneself toward something from within, like feeling compelled to become a writer. The root meaning of the word inspire is to breathe life into. So to help you differentiate whether your life is driven by motivation, inspiration, or neither, ask yourself these 3 questions. Are you mostly focused on the what of your life, that is, tasks, goals, etc., or the why of your life, that is, purpose, possibilities, and calling? Are the decisions and directions of your life driven more by your head or fueled by your heart and soul? And 3, are you currently living a grade A life? If not, what grade, A, B, C, D, F, would you give it? What's missing? What changes need to be made? If you are unsatisfied with your life, here are 6 reasons why. You are obsessed with pursuing outward-driven goals while fooling yourself to thinking you are fulfilled. Nothing wrong with goals as long as they are inwardly driven and congruent with your sense of purpose and values. Most people's are not. Your soul focuses on the destination while never getting a chance to enjoy the journey. What good is success in your life if you are not experiencing joy along the way? Are you so attached to the destination like I was that you feel miserable if you miss the mark? 3, addictions, both substance and behavioral, keep you numb and unable to experience any positive emotions including inspiration and joy. Besides alcohol and drug addictions, behavioral addictions include addictions to technology, workaholism, money-related addictions like gambling, spending, debting, exercise addiction, and so forth. The word addiction is derived from the Latin term for enslaved by or bound to. Addictions are a spiritual illness resulting from a spiritual void. Addictions attempt to numb our pain and fill the hole in your soul. Addictions damage our spirit and our life force energy. 4. Untreated trauma and emotional dissociation. Similar to addictions, unresolved trauma keeps you dissociated and disconnected from yourself and your emotions. Often, unresolved trauma leads to chronic depression, anxiety, and irritability, and denial about the buried pain. I've addressed trauma in other videos as well, with more details about the signs, symptoms, and resources for healing. For now, know you will never feel fulfilled or joy with unresolved trauma. As my acting teacher would tell me many decades ago, when you feel one emotion, you feel them all. When you deny one emotion, you deny them all. With trauma, you will be numb to all emotions, including joy. Reason number or block number 5. Perfectionism. Perfectionists are motivated by fear. They are riddled with low self-esteem, and their lives are driven by their own inner critic. Perfectionism is self-destructive and addictive. As a perfectionist, you focus in what others think about you, not putting the focus on you. Perfectionism blocks play and your life force energy. Want to change that? Start focusing daily on what you are doing right. And the final block is limited beliefs. While there are many limiting beliefs that will sabotage you from living an unfulfilled life, let's identify some of the big ones holding you back. I am not good enough, or I am insignificant. I don't deserve to be fulfilled or successful or enjoying life. I am not capable enough to fulfill my purpose. I can't pursue my dreams because I might fail. Okay, so let's now move on to the benefits of living an inspired life. Research shows that living an inspired life with purpose is linked to living longer. Researchers surveyed nearly 7,000 older adults on the relationship between mortality and finding your purpose. Participants who did not have a strong sense of meaning in their life were more than twice as likely to die prematurely as those who figured out their purpose in life. Unfortunately, like my mom. Okay, now let's move on to the 7 secrets to living an inspired life. 1. Live your life from the power of an intention and commitment. In my early life, I was driven by external-oriented goals, which kept me enmeshed in workaholism and addictions. Over the decades, as my life became more spiritually centered, I shifted from goal setting to intention setting. They're very different, and we'll share at the end how to know the difference. Put simply, setting an intention is the act of stating what you intend to accomplish through actions. You think from the end in mind. It's a direction to, an aim for, a commitment to an outcome without expectations. As Wayne Dyer describes it, you see yourself already connected to that which you want to attract in your life. It's a knowing and believing that which you intend, then set in motion by your aligned actions, while the universe does the rest. With intention, you are allowing the invisible force in the universe to work through you, handle the details, and pull you forward. The most powerful intentions are specific, short-term, and positive. Examples of intentions that can help you live an inspired life. I intend to do something fun today. I intend to do at least 1 hour of self-care every morning for the next week. I intend to increase my revenues month over month from work I love doing. Secret number 2, knowing your compelling why. As Mark Twain said, the 2 most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. When I look back on the 70-plus years of my life, I see the perfection in the big picture themes and course of my life. As Steve Jobs said about his own life at a Stanford University graduation, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. I was able to connect the dots in my life about 15 years ago when I came across a book by a life coach, Laura Berman Fortgang, titled, Now What? 90 Days to a New Life Direction. In that book, she asks you to write your own autobiography in a bullet-type format and to uncover what she refers to as the golden threads of your life. That is the through line connecting your life's work, interrupted dreams, and hidden regrets, all leaving clues and cues regarding your hidden passions and life's purpose. Golden threads are the qualities of the roles, favorite interests, books, movies, and so forth repeated throughout your life. What has your whole life been about? While my job or role titles were very different over the years, Fortgang asks readers to rise above the details and find the essence of what was repeated throughout your life. My golden threads included empowerment, game-changing, overcoming the odds, and trailblazer. Interrupted dreams are the area of your early life you have forgotten or set aside because you were told they were unrealistic or impractical. Again, not the detailed titles, but what are the essence of those dreams? Hidden regrets are those life and work choices driven by should rather than want. You have a responsibility to reach your highest potential. So ask yourself the question, if you knew you were going to die a year from now, what would you do and how would you want to be remembered? That's just a little exercise to get you in the ballpark of uncovering your compelling why. Secret number 3, know what you and your life stand for and act on it. When you know what your life stands for, you live by one or more unwavering, uncompromising convictions that are bigger than yourself. You fight for what is right no matter the cost. Just look around you or look back in history and you'll find plenty of examples of who people knew that they stand for, regardless if you agree or disagree with their convictions. Today, Ukraine is fighting for and will give up their lives for territorial sovereignty. Today, a number of Republican candidates who were running for re-election got defeated because they went against the grain of their party for controversial votes and principles they believed in, even though such a stand had a price. My life has long stood for women's equality, rights, and empowerment. To find out if you know what your life stands for, ask yourself, what are you willing to give it all up for? Where does your courage come from? Secret number 4, transform adversity and pain into inspiration and purpose. Having grown up in a traumatic, raging, abusive, alcoholic upbringing, having been blatantly discriminated against and sexually harassed as a woman engineer in a male-dominated environment in the early 1970s, having lost my health and all my assets and money in 1989, I know pain and adversity all too well. Each one of those experiences, as excruciatingly painful as they were at the time, catalyzed me in my life in leaps and bounds over time. Over the course of your life, you too have mostly had bad things happen. Whether it be serious illness, tragic loss, divorce, financial hardship, and the list goes on. You too most likely have sad and crazy stories to tell. In my experience, before you attempt to transform your adversity into a source of purpose and inspiration, allow yourself time to fully grieve, mourn, and feel all the emotions associated with those painful experiences. Even then, moving through adversity can be a huge emotional and mental roller coaster ride, depending upon the depth of the pain. definitely won't get Pollyanna-ish that you will be able to transform the pain into spiritual gifts in the bat of an eyelash. You won't. It's a process. As long as you don't go into denial or disassociate from your emotions, you can eventually find a sense of purpose and rebirth from all adversities. One way to find such purpose is to ask yourself, what pain, injustice, or unhappiness have you witnessed or experienced that you can't just live with? Is there anything that has touched you in your life so deeply that it drives you? Take that pain and adversity and use it as a touchstone for finding purpose and inspiration. Secret number 5, engage in your sources of inspiration and joy daily. Sources of inspiration are what energize you. They are all around you and already a part of your life once you are consciously present to them. The ocean is definitely one of my sources of inspiration. I can sit and watch the waves of the ocean for hours without any distractions. I take at least 1 to 2 personal weekend retreats by the ocean just to inspire me about my life vision. Reading an inspiring book while drinking some of the best high-quality green tea at a Pete's Coffee and Tea Shop is another source of inspiration for me. A movie of an underdog's journey to victory or triumph, especially if it's a true story, will always inspire me. So what simple everyday experiences inspire you? Watching an awe-inspiring sunrise or sunset, inspiring quotes or speeches, deep, meaningful conversation with a friend. Make a list of your sources of inspiration and commit to at least one inspiring activity per day. Secret number 6. Get in touch with your inner 7-year-old and ask that inner young self. So when I was a little girl, I had a never-ending fascination about space, the planets, the solar system, and the deep mysteries of life. I often dreamt about becoming the first female astronaut, following in the footsteps of my childhood hero, Alan Shepard, the first astronaut in space. Decades later, I was on top of the world when I got to look through a high-powered telescope and saw so vividly Saturn, its rings, and many of its moons. Talk about bliss. While I never pursued a career in space, I continued to have an infectious fascination about the intersection of space, quantum physics, and spirituality. Now, 7 decades later, that lifelong passion has influenced my leadership development work and continues to fuel my wonder about the world beyond Earth. Now it's your turn. What did you love doing as a young child for the sheer joy of it, not because you got rewarded for it? What did you love to daydream about when a young child? What did you at 7 years old love to do that you lost touch with as an adult? What fuels your sense of play and wonder? Finally, secret number 7, Ikigai. I know, sounds like a weird word, but Ikigai is a Japanese concept that means your reason for being. Iki in Japanese means life, and gai describes value or worth. Japanese people believe that Ikigai is the secret to a long, happy life. That Ikigai is also the reason Japan has the most centenarians, that is, people 100 or over. Yes, Ikigai overlaps with your life purpose. It is based on 4 very specific, unique, intersecting qualities for identifying your dream work or passion or purpose. So, component or quality number 1, what you love to do or your passions. Quality number 2, what you're good at, your talents and your gifts. Quality number 3, what you can get paid for or rewarded for. And finally, quality number 4, what the world needs. That is, areas where you can contribute. Despite its mainstream popularities, the truth is the term Ikigai isn't as grandiose in its original context as it sounds. In reality, Ikigai has more to do with the little things in life, those small, happy moments you learn to treasure as they nourish you with joy. According to neuroscientist Ken Mogi, Ikigai isn't an elaborate secret or fancy technique. Rather, Ikigai can be anything that gives you joy while also fueling you to keep moving forward. What areas of focus contribute to Ikigai in your daily life? Health, hobby, family members, friends, social role, imagination, future events? How can you get started living an inspired life now that you've heard those 7 secrets? The first step is always to be rigorously honest where you're at now. Ask yourself, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you right now? How much do you love your work? What's missing for you right now? What's not working? What fears or beliefs are keeping you stuck? What experiences in your life have inspired you, ignited passion, gave you a sense of meaning? As Abraham Lincoln said, in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. If you are ready to put more life in your years, just spend 5 to 10 minutes daily for the next 21 days on one of the above secrets and observe the shifts in yourself. Remember, it's a journey. Be patient, be gentle with yourself. If you're still feeling lost and directionless after listening to this video, subscribe to this channel and I will definitely go deeper into topics that are guaranteed to unlash your life. If I can do it, so can you. I have included links on the screen to other videos about living an inspired, prosperous, fulfilling, and long life. So I'll see you on the next video.